Before you spend $30,000 on a new economy car, you need to see what some older Mazdas can still give you for a fraction of that price. We're talking vehicles that regularly push past 200,000 miles, cost almost nothing to insure, and in some cases are genuinely more fun to drive than anything rolling off a dealer lot today. One car on this list is so underrated that most buyers walk right past it. And by the time we get to number one, you're going to understand why it might be the best used car deal in America right now. Let's count it down. If you like finding cars that save you thousands instead of draining your bank account, hit subscribe. We break down the cars worth buying and the ones you should stay far away from. Now let's get into it. Number 8, 2011-2014. Mazda 2. This one surprises people. The Mazda 2 never sold in huge numbers here in the US, which is part of why clean examples can still be found at honest prices. It came with a 1.5-liter four-cylinder, making around 100 horsepower, which sounds unimpressive until you realize the car weighs under 2,300 pounds. It's genuinely entertaining to drive in the way only a small, light car can be. Think of it as a go-kart you can fill up for 35 light. Fuel economy is outstanding. Owners regularly see 32 to 35 miles per gallon in mixed driving. Parts are widely available, maintenance is affordable, and the engine is simple enough that a competent independent mechanic can handle anything on it. The weak point is the automatic transmission. If you find one with the 5-speed manual, that's the version worth having. Either way, inspect for rust underneath, especially on cars from northern states, and make sure the small electrical items like power windows and door locks work. Gremlins in those systems are common at this age. Realistic price: $5,000 to $8,000 for a clean example. For a no-frills city commuter on a tight budget, it's hard to argue against it. Number 7, 2002-2003, Mazda Protégé. The Protégé 5 is the car that owners never seem to forget. It's a small sport wagon, 5-door hatchback, 2.0-liter four-cylinder, manual transmission available, with a chassis that actually communicates with the driver. It was ahead of its price class when new, and it still drives well today. But these are getting old, and that means condition is everything. The 2.0-liter engine has a timing belt, not a chain. If service records don't show it's been replaced, that's your first negotiating point. Rubber components, coolant hoses, and suspension bushings all deserve a close look on any example at this age. Rust is the deal breaker. Check the rear wheel arches, the frame rails, and the floor underneath the carpet. A rust-free Protégé with maintenance records is a legitimate find. A cheap one hiding structural corrosion is an expensive trap. Price range $4,000 to $7,000 for a solid example. They're getting harder to find in clean condition, but for buyers who want actual driving character at an entry-level price, the search is worth it. Number 6, 2006-2010, Mazda 5. The Mazda 5 might be the most underrated vehicle on this entire list, and it's not particularly close. It's a compact minivan, sliding rear doors, 3 rows, 6 seats, except it drives like a small car and returns fuel economy that embarrasses most crossovers, around 22 to 28 miles per gallon depending on conditions. The 2.3-liter four-cylinder is reliable and inexpensive to maintain. Both the 5-speed manual and the 4-speed automatic are generally solid transmissions when properly serviced. If you have a family and you refuse to either pay minivan money or drive an SUV that delivers crossover fuel consumption, the Mazda 5 is genuinely worth your attention. It fits in a standard parking spot and can be serviced by any shop without hunting for specialty parts. The second-row sliding doors can develop mechanical issues over time, so test them thoroughly before buying. The 4-speed automatic can also feel underpowered at highway speeds. It's adequate, not exciting. Good condition examples run $6,000 to $11,000. Compared to what a used Sienna or Odyssey costs today, that's remarkable value. Number 5, 2014-2017, Mazda 6. The third-generation Mazda 6 is where Mazda stopped making practical cars and started making genuinely desirable ones. Skyactiv engineering, real styling effort, and a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder that is one of the most durable engines the company has built. Owners who maintain these properly routinely see 200,000 miles without serious drama. It's a real adult sedan, comfortable on the highway, with actual driving feedback, competitive rear passenger room, and a solid trunk. It competes directly with the Camry and Accord without needing to apologize for anything. I'd rather see someone buy a clean 2016 Mazda 6 for $12,000 to $14,000 than finance a new midsize sedan for $34,000 over 5 years. The depreciation alone on that new car will cost more than the entire used Mazda. One thing to watch: the skyactiv direct injection engine benefits from attention to spark plug and air filter intervals. Deferred maintenance there can cause carbon buildup on the intake valves over time. Catch it early and it's no issue. Ignore it, and it becomes an expensive cleaning job. Pricing: $10,000 to $16,000 depending on mileage and trim. Exceptional value at this level. And if you're already realizing you don't need a $35,000 new car to get dependable transportation, subscribe now, because the next 4 Mazdas are some of the best used car bargains the company ever built. Number 4. 2013 or 2015. Mazda CX-9. Most people assume a 3-row SUV automatically means a major financial commitment. The late first-generation CX-9 challenges that assumption directly. The 3.7-liter V6 produces around 273 horsepower, moves the CX-9 with real authority, and handles a full passenger load without straining. Tow rating sits at 3,500 pounds, enough for most practical hauling needs. Interior quality in the 2013 and 2015 models improved noticeably over the earlier generation, and the third row is actually usable for adults over short distances. Here's the honest part: that V6 is thirsty. Real-world fuel economy lands around 16 to 20 miles per gallon. If you're doing heavy highway mileage every week, those fuel costs accumulate. This is a better fit as a family hauler where fuel economy isn't the primary concern. Check the transmission fluid service history carefully. Neglected fluid is the most common cause of CX-9 transmission problems. Inspect the third row carpet for moisture intrusion and verify that all 3 rows of seating are intact and undamaged. Pricing: $11,000 to $17,000 for a clean example. A new CX-90 starts above $45,000. The math is obvious. Number 3, 2013-2016 Mazda. CX-5. Now we're getting into the Mazdas I'd actively search for myself. The first-generation CX-5 is Mazda hitting a compact crossover target almost perfectly. A skyactiv G 2.5-liter engine, a relatively light body, handling that feels confident rather than just competent, and a reliability record that is genuinely difficult to find fault with. The 2.5-liter all-wheel drive configuration is the one worth targeting. Real-world fuel economy around 26 to 30 miles per gallon, and real capability in winter conditions. Some early 2013 models had minor software-related transmission hesitation issues, most of which were resolved under warranty. At higher mileage, inspect the brake lines for corrosion if you're buying from a Rust Belt state, and listen for any suspension clunking during the test drive. The engine isn't usually what kills these. Neglect does. A CX-5 with consistent oil changes and a clean accident history is one of the most practical used vehicle purchases you can make in America right now. Used pricing: $13,000 to $19,000 depending on mileage and trim. A new CX-5 starts around $29,000. That's a $10,000 plus gap for a vehicle that is already proven reliable. Number 2, 2014-2018 Mazda 3. This is probably one of the safest choices for someone who simply wants dependable transportation without spending a fortune. The second-generation Mazda 3 is compact, efficient, available as both a sedan and a hatchback, and powered by either a 2.0-liter or 2.5-liter skyactiv 4-cylinder, both of which are impressively reliable in the real world. The 2.5-liter hatchback specifically delivers a level of driving engagement that genuinely embarrasses competitors in this price range. Fuel economy runs 28 to 37 miles per gallon, depending on engine and transmission choice. Parts are inexpensive and everywhere. Maintenance intervals are reasonable. And because so many of these were sold, you have a genuine selection of used examples to evaluate, which gives you the negotiating position. For northern buyers, inspect the front subframe for rust and check CV axle boot condition. These are inspection items, not deal breakers by default, but they tell you how the car was treated. The 2.5-liter hatchback with the manual or the 2.5-liter sedan with the automatic are the configurations worth targeting. Skip the 2.0-liter automatic if heavy highway use is on your agenda. It's capable but uninspiring over the long term. Realistic pricing, $10,000 to $17,000. A complete, proven, fuel-efficient vehicle with a documented reliability record. Before I give you number one, understand that this is the Mazda I'd recommend to almost anyone who asks me directly. It's unique, it's affordable, it's properly reliable, and there is genuinely no replacement for it at anywhere near its price point. Nothing on this list combines these qualities quite the same way. Number 1. 1999 2005 Mazda MX-5 Miata NB generation. There is no other used car in America that delivers a genuine sports car experience at this price. None. The NB Miata came with a 1.8-liter four-cylinder producing between 140 and 155 horsepower, depending on the model year. The car weighs around 2,350 pounds. The result is a vehicle that feels alive at 40 miles per hour in ways that most modern cars never manage at any speed. It is not fast by the numbers. It is fast where it matters, in your hands. Reliability is exceptional. The engine, when properly maintained, comfortably reaches 200,000 miles. Transmission failures are rare. The soft top, if it's been kept in decent condition, is straightforward and inexpensive to replace. But there's one thing you absolutely need to inspect before buying one: the undercarriage. Frame rails, floor pans, the rear crossmember. A rust-free NB Miata is worth serious money. A car that looks clean on the surface but has structural corrosion underneath is a money pit regardless of what the seller is asking. Don't skip that inspection. Bring a flashlight. Performance-focused versions, the Mazda Speed Miata and the 2004-2005 Spec V, command a premium and are worth understanding before you shop. Standard examples are more plentiful and cheaper to own, which makes them the smarter buy for most people. Pricing, $7,000 to $14,000 for a clean, well-maintained example. What do you get for that money? A proper two-seat sports car with a documented decades-long reliability track record, a passionate ownership community, and aftermarket parts availability that's actually better than many mainstream daily drivers. If the maintenance records are there, mileage alone wouldn't scare me on one of these. No $30,000 new car is going to make you smile like this on a Sunday morning. It's not an opinion, it's just the truth. Here's the bottom line. Buying old doesn't mean buying unreliable. It means being smart about where reliability actually comes from. Engineering, consistent maintenance, and choosing the right example in the right condition. Mazda built some exceptional vehicles that were over-engineered for their price class and undervalued by buyers who always wanted something newer. That's your opportunity. If this video saved you from making a $30,000 mistake, subscribe before you leave. And tell me in the comments, which of these Mazdas would you actually trust with your money? And if there's an older Mazda I left off this list, drop it below. I read everyone.